Alright, what we're looking at this morning is a joint member. It's a lap or a scarf, we call it. Okay, and all it is it's just a piece of material with a cheek taken out of it, like so. So we've got our width of material and our edge. So what we're doing is we're going to split this in two, so it's going to be equal. And it's going to go back into the material, the width of the material. So what we need to do is we need to find half first. So there's a couple of ways we can do that. So what we'll do is we'll put this in this set of jaws. Now we can use a couple of tools here. So we can use a combination square. So what we do is we open it to more than halfway. It doesn't matter where we open it up. And then what we do is we put it on one face, draw a line, turn it around, draw another line, and then what we do is we can reset the gauge or the combination square to find the centre of that mark. And then what we can do is draw another line, draw another line, and then what we'll do is we'll go to the centre of that mark there, which is there, and then what you'll see is that's now the exact centre of the material. So another way we can do it is we can get our normal ruler and we can put the edge of the ruler on the edge of the material and open it up to a measurement. It doesn't matter, so I'm going to open it up to 60, and then a half of 60 is 30. So I'm going to mark that point there, and then that becomes the centre of the material. So once again, on edge, I can make it 90 if I wish, come up to 90, and a half of 90 is 45, which goes there, and you can see that both of the dots are in the centre of the material. Then also what we can use, which is what we're going to use today, is we're going to use the gauge. So it's exactly the same as the combination square. We open the gauge more than halfway, press the spur in, turn it to the other side, holding the stock against the edge of the material, press it in. And you can see that there's two dots. I want to find the middle of that. So I bring the line back to the centre of those two dots. And then I push the spur in there, go to the other side, push the spur in, and then I've got exactly the centre. And just adjust that by the tiniest margin. Try that again. Try that again. So that gauge is now set exactly to the centre. Now what I want to do is X, being the width of this material. I'll grab my combination square, I'll drop it down like so until it touches the bench. I'll tighten that up, and that now gives me the exact width of the material. So what I'll do now is I need to come in this distance, which is this distance. So I've set this to this distance, and then what I'll do is I'll just put this on edge, hold the stock square against the end grain, I'll mark that there. Then I'll go to my square, and then I'll square that line all the way around. Just one line is alright. You don't need to make multiple passes with the pencil. Notice the pencil's nice and sharp. And then what we've done is we've got that line running all the way around. Now what I want to do is I'll put this in the set of jaws because it's going to be easier to mark. And what I'll do is I'll get the gauge, hold the stock against the edge of the material, put the spur on the line, and then very lightly and harder each time, I'll draw that line up. And what I'll do from the same edge, which is this edge here, I'll come across. What I'll do is I'll come across this way and until I hit that shoulder point. Okay, so what we've got now, I'll just darken this in for you. I've got that line, I've got that line, and I've got that line. And what I want to do is I want to take out one of these cheeks. So I'm going to take out this cheek here, because in plan I'm looking down on this, so I'm going to take out this cheek here, which is this cheek here. Okay, and I'll mark that. That's coming out, that's coming out, that's coming out. So what we're going to look at in plan, I'm going to look at that, which is equal both sides. I'm going to take that cheek out, and in elevation, when I turn it up that way, I'm going to see that cut, and I'm going to see that end. Alright, so what we need to do, we put this in at 45 degrees into the jaws, tighten the jaws up nice and tight, and what we do is we pick up our tenon saw, if you wish, and then what I want to do is I want to cut exactly on that line, and I want the waist saw, so the curve and the set, I want it on this side of the line, because I want to half see that line. So I slowly start the saw, and then I can see it tracking down that line, and I can see it tracking down that line, because I'm looking directly over the back of the saw. I'll check that. Check it again. Check that again. So what I've done is I've put a cut in that there, straight across to there like that, which is hidden detail. And now what I want to do is I want to do another cut running down to that shoulder point there and there. So in reality, that cut in there is running that way. Now I want to do another one running that way. So I turn this over this way, put it in the jaws again, nice and tight. And what I want to do is pick up this line running down here, nice and beautiful. And then in reality, I'm just following this line down this edge, because it's just going to track in the cut that I've already made. And there it is. So now, what I can do is the saw will fit in like so. Just be careful not to cut yourself, this is a demonstration. So it's already that far into the scarf or the lap, so all I'm going to do, the saw will track itself, and it'll just track down to the shoulder point. So we'll do that. The material now goes in at 90 degrees into the jaws. Okay. And then we tighten that up. And then I'll just put another clamp across the bottom. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is this goes horizontally. Going to check to see where that line is. And what I've done is I've tracked down to that shoulder point, or cut down to that shoulder point, which is there and there. Now what I want to do is I want to cut that off. So what I need is a bench hook. Grab the saw, put this in the bench hook, and then cut the shoulder. Stop, make sure that I'm tracking down at 90 degrees. let's cut the cheek off, which is that piece there that's come away from there. And we end up with what we call the lat or the scarf joint, which is that joint there. So when we look at that, that's what we have. We have that there as our lap joint, and then in plan, and then looking in elevation, we have it like that. Okay, so very simple to do. If you follow those techniques and do a few of them, you'll get quite good at it. Okay, so as I said, that's known as our lap or scarf joint. Okay, I'll see you on the next joint member. Thank you.